Morning, everybody. Welcome to, my mouth isn't moving at the same time as the video for us. My mouth is moving at a different time. Very weird. So for some reason, you're seeing us with my mouth moving at the wrong time. My apologies. We're seeing the same thing. Welcome to Tuesday, May 26th. This is our last show we're going to do before we leave for the West for a few weeks. Hi, Bonnie O'Donnell. Good morning.
Bonnie.
And Charlie and I are heading to Colorado. We're going to be in Fort Collins doing a show this Saturday night. And then we're going to Divide, Colorado, 9,800 feet, to Colorado Roots Music Camp. Hi, Steve Verona. Your mouth is just fine on YouTube, says Bonnie O'Donnell. Thank you. Hi, Aloysius. Glad my mouth is working in time on YouTube. On Facebook, it's a little bit behind. Good morning, Mary Williston. What's that?
You're in a different key, aren't you?
Hi, Emma Sloniker.
Starting with a Beatles song.
No. Hi, Sybil Bannett. Hi, Jeannie Murphy. Steve Verona says, audio and video seems in sync here. Oh, good. Emma Sloniker, who's going to be hosting our house concert on Saturday. Hi, Mark Wilson, who lives in Maine now. Mark, I still think you live in Exeter, and then I realize you don't live in Exeter. Dorothy Holland, good morning. Brenna Olivier, good morning. Judy Abbey, good morning. Wow, you're all here. Thanks for coming.
Yeah.
It's gonna get better someday, somehow. This'll be the hard time we remember in some happier now. It's gonna get better someday, somehow. Oh, there's gonna be good times, they'll be coming soon. This'll be the dark hall that led to a brighter room. There's gonna be good times someday, somehow. Hi, Nancy Basket. Hi, John Ferrulo. And there's gonna be a bluebird in a blue sky. Happiness will land on your shoulder, some coming by and by. There's gonna be a bluebird someday, somehow. Oh, there's gonna be sunny afternoons. The mornings will open like a spring flower in bloom. We'll be sitting in the shade someday, somehow. Oh, it's gonna get better someday, somehow. This'll be the hard time we remember in some happier now. It's gonna get better someday, somehow. Hi, Sybil Bannett. Hi, Carol Pred. Hi, Jean Jacobs.
It's a serious question whether my memory is actually ever going to get any better. It's probably not going to. It's probably only going to keep getting worse.
Well, you know, the interesting thing is we're singing that. Hi, Janet Simpson. Hi, Barry Kazendorf, who we've just been emailing with. Barry, you're a good guy. Thanks for offering that house concert. Maybe I'll get better. Randy, good morning. Randy from Maryland. We used to come to our workshops. Randy, I hope to see you at a workshop again. Hi, Nancy Basket. Because we talked about it's going to get better, I just started listening to a Pema Chodron new book, a book on tape, and she's talking about the one thing I took away from it that was really useful is she said what Buddhism is suggesting is to learn to be okay with not being okay, and I find that really pretty useful as a concept.
There's a very important line in your song, Seattle Sweetheart.
Learning to be okay. Remind me which one it is.
Well, it's basically, I can't remember the exact words, but that's basically the whole
learning how to mend without healing is what I say. Yeah, right.
Mend without healing. Yeah.
Right. That's what we just have to be okay with being a little broken. Love this bluebird in the blue sky. Gotta dance, says Sybil Bannett. Tricia Cronin, good morning. Okay, so in honor of the 1.8 million slush fund. And in memory of Janet Yellen, our fine Fed of years ago, if we're gonna make sense of higher finance, we have to separate the men from the boys. We need a hand on the nozzle, someone menopausal would know how to take away the toys. A simple little feature any third grade teacher already knows how to do. Boys and girls, pay attention, don't trust your pension to someone younger than you. Junior is a genius with computer algorithms, his hand on the financial throttle. He got A's in all his courses, too bad the market forces don't operate like the model. And now his bonus is depending on how well he is pretending he knows why the market went down. So he will talk about liquidity, really he knows diddly, see how impressive it sounds. Boys and girls, pay attention, don't trust your pension to someone younger than you. He might not think it through. And just like Alexander of Macedon, he'll plunder your country and then move on. Leave a lot of wreckage there in his wake. Remember, Alexander thought that he was great, so you might want a woman of a certain age, someone who's encountered the hourly wage. You want to think again, that ambitious young man might not take the long view. Boys and girls, pay attention, don't trust your pension to someone younger than you. Good job, Charlie. You know, because you mentioned Seattle, look, here's Gene Jacobs requesting Seattle. We will do that.
Excellent.
And here's Steve Verona saying, it's the cracks that let the light in. That's right. Carol Pratt, as we get older and hopefully a little wiser, you realize that just about everyone is a little bit broken. I agree. Hi, Kim Wallach. Good morning. John Frula, liquidity and diddly. Nice. Thank you. I probably wrote the song around that. Although also menopausal. And we need a hand on the nozzle, someone menopausal. That's really also. Pat Buckner, good morning from wonderful Canada. Our northern neighbor. Okay, Charlie, let's do Seattle. Because we got a suggestion. So, in fact, I was just talking with my friend Barry about me and Lyme, which is what I wrote this about. Hard to find someone younger nowadays, says Carol Prud. Randy says, brilliant, thank you. Okay. I wrote this a couple summers ago. And I'll say that the beginning of it was was writing for myself about the fact that I felt I had moved out of my body because I was very uncomfortable. And the way I sometimes write songs is I start with maybe a little sketch, and I made a little series of sketches of a woman moving out of her house. And then the house burns and the rains come and there's mud and there's a destroyed house. And the woman comes back in and she starts to clean the house. And somehow that got me started on this song. So here we go. Here's where I grew, and when the house was new, every floor solid, every angle true. But the truth moves on, and the solid is gone, and this door won't close. It's got character now, you might say, as the colors fade, and in truth I like old stuff that has seen better days. Here's what the metaphor means. I've got a porch that leans, and this door won't close. And I'm feeling like Seattle when all it does is rain. The weather in this house warps the doors with pain. meditation and some do-re-mi. Make a charming home out of what is falling down around me. How do you pull through? What's your can of can-do? Somewhere in the back of a cupboard do you keep that cheeky attitude? How do you build yourself a nest between lost and found? I'm asking everyone, how did you learn to calm down? 'Cause I'm feeling like Seattle when all it does is rain. The weather in this house warps the doors with pain. A little meditation and some do-re-mi. Make a charming home out of what is falling down around me. If we return to the door, the initial metaphor, the reason I am singing this song for, I'm trying to fall in love with the door, and how it's bending is the only way I know how to heal without mending. I'm feeling like Seattle when all it does is rain. The weather in this house warps the doors with pain. Little meditation and some do-re-mi. Make a charming home out of what is falling down around me. Falling down around me. Good job, Charlie. Wow. Well, that was kismet. I wasn't planning on playing that song. Kim Wallach, I'm waving like you can see me. Andy Nettle, hello. He says, love from the PNW. I've been sending Andy pictures of books from the basement. We've been going through books in the basement, and every once in a while when we find an older one, I send photos to Andy because he goes to antiquarian book fairs.
Yeah.
We have yet to find anything that has been signed, which apparently...
Oh, I have a bunch of Dick Francis books that
Are they signed?
That are signed, yeah.
You do?
But I don't think they're. I don't think they would qualify as antiquarian. Yeah.
Well, Andy, we have signed Dick Francis books in case that helps. I was going to do a John Gorka song because of Memorial Day, and I think I'm going to do it. Do you mind, Charlie, if I do this? You good with that?
What?
I'm going to do the John Gorka song.
Yeah, go for it.
So Memorial Day was just passed, and John Gorka's dad was in. Hi, Sloan Wainwright. Holy cow, from France. Sloanie, how you doing? Brad Meyer says summer everywhere today. Chris Bamer, also from France. I'm in Seattle. Chris Bamer's in Seattle, but Sloan Wainwright is in France.
Huh.
Emma.
You're seeing your grandkids?
Yes, she's going seeing her new granddaughter. I've always thought this is one of John Gorka's more brilliant songs, although he wrote a lot of them. Sloan says she's doing good. Steve Verona says, let them in, Peter. Oh, that's a beautiful one. My father met Eleanor Roosevelt in 1945. The war at last was over then. They were still alive. Her husband was the president till he ran out of time. Her Franklin D was history, and they put him on the dime. My father joined the Leathernecks to stay out of the mines. The new Marine was just 15 in 19 1939. There were medals and malaria, the South Pacific War, through jungles that were paradise, and paradise no more. Soldiers fight, soldiers die, soldiers live to wonder why. Semper Fi, fee, fo, fum. Look out, peacetime, here we come. Some of the men who did survive were not the lucky ones. War is only good for those who make and sell the guns. My father lay recovering, the hurt was all inside. Sometimes the wounds that never heal are the easiest to hide. When Eleanor came bearing gifts to San Francisco Bay, she gave my dad a blanket in the hospital that day. That blanket meant a lot to him, and my mother has it still. Some forget the kindnesses that others never will. Soldiers fight, soldiers die, soldiers live to wonder why. Semper Fi, fee, fo, fum. Look out, peacetime, here we come. Isn't that a beautiful song? Oh, honey. Charlie's been moved. David Roth, Cape Cod calling. Hi, David.
Hey, David.
Nice to see you, honey. Judy Wong, hello, everyone. Good, gorgeous day in Massachusetts. Emma Sloniker says, I've been singing Branching Out a lot lately, a Gorka classic that we sang a lot during my childhood. I love that song. I'm gonna reach for the sky. What a poignant song, says Carol Pred. John Gorka is really one of our fine singer-songwriters. Steve Walker, good morning. Pat Buckner, brilliant song. War is only good for those who make and sell the guns. Totally agree. All right. Let's do Brad Meyer. Lots of PTSD from that war. Yes. Aloysius, feels different hearing it now. Just to change tune, we're going to do Welcome to Boston, because Facebook sent up one of those videos that they find from 15 years ago or 12 of me in 2013 singing this song, probably the week I wrote it. I am wearing a little green sundress and I'm in Moab, Utah, and I'm about 47 years old and maybe 48, but I look about, to me, when I look at it now, I think, wow, Cozy, you look about 15 years old. So this song was written because Charlie lent me his little red Audi that summer when I came to live with him in Maynard. It was just an experiment. I left my car in Moab along with my house and my cats, but I came to live with Charlie in his house in Maynard. But I needed to get my hair cut. This is long before I owned a cell phone that would tell me how to find anything I needed to find in the Boston area. So I found some sort of hairdresser in Cambridge, Massachusetts, and I printed out directions and I set them on the passenger seat of the little red Audi that I had started to drive, but I really still wasn't used to the gear ratio and was having a hard time distinguishing between first and third gear. And I was trying to make a lot of U-turns in Cambridge because, of course, I wasn't following the directions very well, and I was getting a lot of love from my fellow Boston drivers because I was stalling a lot there. And this is what I wrote on the way home. I've returned to the land where I was born, where the cautious driver is scorned, where they believe in the hand and in the horn. If the social fabric gets torn, well, they've got places to go and things to do that are on the other side of you. Important people coming through, and you're in their way. Welcome to Boston. Have a nice day. The occasional insult gets hurled when they are late for ruling the world. And you might think that you should go first, but the master of the universe is on the phone and on the wheel. He's closing in while he closes his deal. He's on task and you're in his way. Welcome to Boston. Have a nice day. Welcome to Boston. Have a nice day. They have a busy life planned. The reins are in their hand. And who's really happy? They know that life is just stress. And they have medications, oh, they do not need rest. They just need you to get out of their way. Welcome to Boston. Have a nice day. Welcome to Boston. Have a nice day. Here's Danny Birnbaum. Danny Birnbaum, Sloane's partner, who's probably still in New York State while Sloane is in France. Well, we got lots of people here today. Mary Wilston says, I just got to see John Gorka in Columbus a few weeks ago. He is really marvelous. I'm glad you got to see him. Barry Kasendorf says, I remember that. All right, I got my guitar in open G tuning for a couple of songs. And one is going to be a little bit of an experiment. And the other, we're going to go out on the Horse King, Charlie. But for that, I'm going to try and do Cordelia.
Do you know what I always think of when you introduce that song?
Welcome to Boston, yeah? Your poor car.
Well, it amazes me that my clutch survived that song.
Yeah, it's true.
And
It's
how much love I must have felt for you.
that you let me that car.
Subject you to. You know, it had a 6-speed shift, so it was easy to confuse the...
Yeah. My father's birthday, we're going to be gone, number one, next week. But my father's birthday is the 31st of May. He was born in 1928, so he'd be 98, I believe, this year. He's gone now. But I have 2 songs for my dad that we're going to do here. One I haven't done in years. I brought it out yesterday. I printed the words. First I had to listen to the CD, write the words out for myself, because it's been so long. This is from my album called The Pomegranate Seed from 2004. And Steve Arone, I remember being stuck on Storrow Drive for 1 hour one day, unable to figure out how to exit. Oh yeah, that's true. Lauren Payne, good morning. So I'm going to do Cordelia. So you're going to actually just going to hang out, I guess. Is that okay? You want to? Actually, no, you did it with me. Remember B flat? We practiced it. I wrote this in my mid-30s. My dad and I had a great relationship for much of his life, but in my 30s, we went through a bad time. And when I was regretting that I had not done all the things that my father would have hoped I'd done, number one, finish Amherst College, which is where he went to school and where I dropped out of to become a folk singer. And in my mid-30s, all of a sudden walking through an airport with a guitar on my back stopped being very romantic, and it started feeling like I'd made the wrong decision. And how come I hadn't finished Amherst and gone to law school? And this song is kind of written from that point of view, which I don't feel anymore, but I did for a while. And my dad and I started to have arguments. And we fixed it up in my 40s, and we were good pals again. But there were some times in my 30s when I just wasn't getting along with him as well, and I felt like I'd lost my pal. And my real name is Cornelia. My legal given name is Cornelia. And when I was a kid, my parents took me to see King Lear. And King Lear's daughter, Cordelia, made quite an impression upon me. me get this in tune. This is called I Was Cordelia. Let's see how we get through it. I was Cordelia before I died. I was the apple of my father's eye. Oh. Father's eye, the jewel of his kingdom. Damn my truth and my pride. I was Cordelia, if only I'd lied. And I was Cordelia, the daughter of the king. If I'd done what he wanted, I'd still have everything. Love was very black and white. In my innocence of youth, I was a loaded weapon in the service of truth. And I was Cordelia, and I thought I did right. But I sent my father off into a long dark night. If I had been a good daughter, if I'd played the right part, you can bring down a kingdom with one honest heart. If only the future held nothing to fear, if only love was always kind and the truth was always clear, if only we could tell them just what they want to hear. I was Cordelia, the daughter of Lear. I was Cordelia. And boy, this guitar is out of tune. I don't know why. We're about to take it on the road. It'd be nice if this guitar would hold tune, but it won't. Oh, this isn't the one we're taking. Thank God. All right, the Horse King.
Is that your
It's the Martin. Janet W. Is that Janet Wisniewski? Let's see if I can get this in tune. Well, I thank you all for being here. And I'll tell you a little story about this song. So, in about 2008, during the financial crisis, a lot of banks were forced to become one bank. If you guys remember, there was a lot of forced mergers. And my father, who was in his 80s at the time, his bank got merged with Bank of America. And I was home visiting when he was trying to talk to customer service because he couldn't figure out how to get into his online account because, of course, he hadn't paid any attention to what his password was. He wasn't wearing his hearing aids, so he couldn't hear the guy ask him his questions. He failed his 3 security questions with the online help from Bank of America, and they hung up on him. And I was visiting, and I said, okay, Dad, let's go downtown and see if we can find a Bank of America that will talk to you. And so we go downtown, but to get my dad downtown at that time was tough because he had a walker. So we had to get him and his walker out to the car, get him in the car, get the walker in the back of the car. I get around the car. I drive out to the first bank. You got to get out of the car, get the walker out of the car, get him out of the car into the walker, get him in the walker into the bank, open the big bank doors, go down the long corridor of the big bank corridor, which for my dad at that time was like walking 4 football fields. And he's exhausted by the end. And we do this in a couple banks. And each time the customer person says to my dad, I can't help you. And he's very discouraged by this. And we both realized that at one time when my dad had walked into a bank in Concord, New Hampshire, where I grew up, and he'd lived for 50 years, somebody would have said, hi, Charlie, how are you? Because my dad's name was Charlie. And that day, nobody knew who he was. And we both realized that at one time he had been the man for both of us, and he no longer was. And it was a moving time for both of us. when he was in his prime, carrying the day and leading the line. Long ago, in the green of spring, I remember when he was the horse king. When he was young, I was young too. His legs were strong and what they could do. All the flags would fly and all the bells would ring. The sun would always rise on the Horse King. But one morning in the field, the stallions came around and they pushed him up against the fence and he went down. They left him there to get up and get home. The Horse King no more, just old and all alone. For the pleasure of the world we will each pay a price, fight the last battle and roll the final dice. But someday, somewhere, springtime comes twice, and I will meet the Horse King in the fields of paradise. Last night I saw the Horse King when he was in his prime, carrying the day and leading the line. Long ago, in the green of spring, I remember when he was the Horse King. We went a little late, guys. Oh, thank you, Barry Kasendorf. Lauren Payne, love the Horse King. Such a nice tribute to your dad. Yeah, and if David Roth is still here, David Roth, when my dad was in such a grouchy mood, totally took over and helped me out one day with my dad. I want to thank him for that. Sybil Bannett, best story of how they were rude to Charlie before he was recognized and admired. It's okay, then not now. Horse King, not knowing it without your intro. Thanks, beautiful. Well, thank you, Sybil. Aloysius, when I just got out of high school, I went to one bank a little bit out of my way because one of the girls that I liked from school was the teller, so I would go there and make my payments in person. That was smart of you. Lydia Adams Davis, nice to see you. Thank you so much. Jeannie Jacobs, glad you're coming back to Boston. Yes, on June 21st, we are going to be in Dedham at the Unitarian Church, Universalist Church. Tom Smith and Mark Arelli and Alistair Mook and a few others are playing. It's called Flip the House. It's a benefit for raising funds for turning the house blue. So if you want to figure that out, it's on my Facebook page. It's on Tom Smith's Facebook page. Judy Abbey, nice to see you here. Brennan Olivier, such a good food, heart food. Thank you. Thank you. Chris Bamer, nice to see you here. I'm glad you're here in the United States. Lydia Adams Davis, we are in Kentucky. Wow, nice. Thank you, Kim Wallach. Keith Shaw, good morning. Hello from Cleveland Clinic Hospital. Just a doctor visit. Good to see you guys. I'm not usually awake at this hour. Well, Keith, thank you for being here. Okay. We are going to be back next. Let's see, when are we going to be back? After June 9, so probably June 10. House concert, Emma Sloniker, house concert in Fort Collins. Send your Northern Colorado friends this way. Okay, I'm going to put this in the broadcast. We are doing a show in Fort Collins on Saturday night. If you know anyone in the area, send them down. We thought we'd play in Colorado again. We're going to be there. We're flying there on Thursday. And I'm going to go to Estes Park and see if I can get used to the altitude. We thank you for being with us. We'll be back right around the Tuesday near Father's Day. Keep an eye on Facebook. And until then, we hope you take care of yourselves. Just remain enough informed that you know what's happening, but not so much that you're overwhelmed. And thanks for being part of our kind community. And everybody have a good day. Okay, bye.
Bye.